Welcome to Super Pixels Weekly, a podcast about video game news and anything else revolving around video games and the nerd subculture. We are your co-hosts. I'm Donavin.
And I'm William. Our show is available on all major podcast platforms. Don't forget to email in your questions or comments for the show at superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Also, our individual Twitch and YouTube links are in the description, so hit us up over there too. Real quick, our actual YouTube, Super Pixels Weekly main YouTube, we've been uploading shorts on it all week, and they've been kind of popping off. So if you haven't subbed over there, go and sub, because we're making it big.
Let's caveat before I say my spiel at the end of this. You've been uploading shorts because we've divvied the labor so that it works out, and it's worked out great. But yes, shorts.
I mean, you entire podcast, and I just take them and throw them in.
Editing's not really super bad, but whatever. One last thing. Get some sweet deals on PC games through the instant gaming link down below if you're listening on, all the major podcast platforms. Or if you're on Twitch and you're watching us, this is the first time ever that William's face has been on the podcast, so that's...
Oh, I didn't even mention that.
So there's that. Also, there is a link... it's not below me anymore because I had to do some layout changes on the podcast, for Twitch. But it is in the actual page's description. There's an instant gaming link for that. There's also a Extra Life link. So what that means is charity. We've talked about it every single podcast so far that I've been affiliated with it. We have a stream team and all that. But when you donate money to us, or you want to donate money to the cast, really what you should do is click that link and donate it to the kids, because there is a link also in the description that explains what that is. But basically, it's a charity that helps kids out that are in, extenuating circumstances with hospital stays for video games. So send that money their way and help them out, because kids can't wait. All right, are you ready to fucking just annihilate this podcast? Because holy shit.
To give you a bit of insight, I built this dock and rebuilt it 4 different times this week, because the news story that broke, shit kept getting added to it. Things kept getting cleared up. There was different branches to this fucking wild story that happened. So I kept having to erase stuff, add stuff in, erase stuff, add stuff in. It was crazy. So Tuesday, at work, doing my work stuff, and I check the YouTube feed real quick. I'm just taking a 5-minute, little break, check my YouTube feed, and I see that Tom Henderson has a video going live, and who is our beloved leaker from all the Battlefield stuff. I'm subbed to him on YouTube, and he had a video going live, and it said Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard for $70 billion. And the thumbnail was the graphic that they put up, the Xbox X, all that Activision Blizzard games. And Tom Henderson's just stirring the pot right now. He even made a graphic and everything. He's really going in on these leaks right now. What is this? And I was like, what is this? I click on it. Sure shit. Real news. That is real news that he was reporting on. And I could not believe it. I cannot believe that Xbox is going to own Activision and Blizzard, and for $70 billion. Billion.
Bezos money, billions.
Billions, dude. This is the biggest acquisition of anything in entertainment ever. Nothing even comes close to this.
It's so much money that, one, I don't think any of us will ever be able to comprehend exactly how much money it is. But also, I don't know. It's an insane thing, because I don't want to say I expected it. I didn't expect this at all, by any means. But I knew, there was a weird thing, kind of when people are I can feel the rain in my bones. I knew that there was a wild acquisition coming up for whatever. I was like, something wild's gonna happen soon, because we were bullshitting, because it was when after that after the short went up, and, well, obviously the one that we put up where it was like everything's gonna be fucking irrelevant, doesn't really matter, and then like the next fucking day they bought it.
Yes. Like we uploaded that podcast, and the next day this came out. I was mad. I was like, damn.
We could have fucking capitalized on it, but we're doing it now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're a few days late, but it's given us a chance to kind of see the news like old a little bit more. So there's more information about everything. I mean, do you want to just jump into all these points that I've gathered?
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be the actual, like, the biggest talking point of the cast. So much that I didn't even really talk about what I've been playing, you know, because I was like, we're gonna talk about this fucking hour, dude. So
I'm expecting this to go on the whole podcast. I'll start a timer. So if you want to start a timer, I don't know if you have.
I mean, I've been recording, but yeah, like it's.
You're recording of a timer.
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sure, we'll go off of that. Okay, so first place I want to start at. When they announced that they are acquiring Activision Blizzard, this isn't going to go through till mid 2023, I believe. So Activision Blizzard are acting completely independently for foreseeable future until they're actually bought out. Which means you'll get your Call of Duty this year, and probably next year on PlayStation, and then things get a little iffy after that. But Phil Spencer said that he does not intend to take franchises away from PlayStation.
Okay.
But he said the same thing about Bethesda, and Starfield is exclusive now. That will not be on PlayStation. So,
rip.
You kind of take words with a grain of salt, you know. I mean, I trust Phil Spencer to want to do the right thing, but like, I feel like it's kind of up to, you know, Sony and them to work things out, because, you know, they're not gonna like spend $70 billion on this company and then like just keep giving their games out for free, you know, not for free, but like, you know, like, yeah, you can take all of these games onto your platform. Like, I'm sure there's got to be some sort of deals and contracts. I don't know how all this shit works, so I would imagine there's something they got to work out there to get games on there. But I think the way it's gonna go is everything Activision Blizzard is gonna be exclusive that doesn't already have contractual obligations. So like the Call of Duty coming out this year, there's probably a contract for that already for PlayStation. Overwatch 2 probably gonna come to PlayStation because that game's deep in development. But I think after that, you know, like, when they inevitably bring back Tony Hawk, that shit's only going to be on Xbox. I guarantee it.
So I'm not super duper worried about stuff like that. Oh, from a personal perspective, it's like shitty as it sounds. Only because Game Pass. But, like, it really is, like, wild to think about it, because this is, like, such a schism in the market when it comes to, like, I guess when you bring it up, like, what, for lack of a better word, and excuse my French, what the fuck are you doing, Sony? Like, what do you have right now?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, with Microsoft having Activision Blizzard and then Bethesda, like, you're really putting Sony into a corner. They're gonna lose all these games, and like, what is Sony to do? You know, I mean, they do have their exclusives that are amazing video games, some of the best games ever. In fact, I think God of War is the greatest game ever made. But like, it's tough for them. I have no idea what they're gonna do. Like, do they clap back and buy another company? But nothing's bigger than Activision Blizzard. Like, buying Call of Duty, like, it doesn't get bigger than that.
Nothing's bigger than that. But what could be more exclusive, and we've talked about this before, is if Sony somehow, because Konami makes so much money, but I guess I revealed it already. If Sony ponied up and bought the IPs from Konami, that would kind of put us back to where we were back when the PS2 and like the Xbox came out, or like, you know, like where we're getting back to like the fucking nitty and gritty console wars, because that means they have exclusive rights to Metal Gear. They have exclusive rights to fucking goddamn Silent Hill, all that wild shit, or even like Contra, I guess, if you want to talk about it. But like they would have exclusive rights to these games where like everybody's been, you have to like play the market really, because everybody's been salivating for these fucking releases. Or like, you know, anytime there's a crumb of like, even if it's fake, like crumb of Metal Gear Solid news, people are like, oh my god, Sony's gonna fucking blah blah, like it happens. So if they just ponied up and did it right, and just not even buy the company, don't buy Konami, buy the IPs to make, you know, continue the PlayStation, I guess, lineage of being that one company that has exclusive games that everybody loves, for starters, because that's one of the reasons everybody switched to PlayStation, was like Last of Us, Uncharted, etc., etc. But it doesn't matter at this point, because they're coming out on fucking PC like 2 years later. Like, and I don't know about you, like I don't got a lot of time left on the earth, but I can wait a little bit for fucking a PC port. But for the people who are so ingrained in consoles and don't have a PC to play on, that's the market I feel like you want to target. Only because you're cornering that. Because Microsoft, when it comes to corners, Microsoft has Sony backed up into a corner so much that, like, this is kind of, I'm gonna tiptoe around stereotypes, but Sony might have to fucking commit seppuku, like ritualistic suicide, as the samurais did, only because like they have nothing. Like, and it's wild, dude. It's so insane.
Yeah, I mean, people immediately jump to, well, Sony has to buy Konami. Like, I've heard that all week.
Yeah.
I do think that will happen, may happen. Probably. I feel like it probably will happen. I feel like it would happen eventually anyways, regardless of this acquisition. I think Sony will end up getting them. But, I mean, also, hey, EA's up in the air. Whoever can fucking grab Madden, that would be crazy.
If Sony bought EA, that'd be it, dude. Like,
that'd be. But this is what people are like scared about. They're like, well, we don't want like an exclusive war. We don't want everyone to like. Sony's buying these companies, Xbox buying these companies. Now you have to choose sides because, you know, your favorite games are on completely different sides now, and crisscross.
I mean, well, like that's kind of how it was, honestly. Like at the beginning with PS2 and Xbox, like with like Halo coming out, and like, or even when the 360 and the PS3 launched. Like I strictly remember, like everybody switching to 360 because it was such a, you know, it was if like, I don't want to say family friendly, but I guess that's a way to put it, where it was like a console that like you could buy, and then you could all play together. Because Sony hadn't really worked out their network stuff with the PS2, because PS2 was like the first like network friendly console. But like 360 with the release of Xbox Live, or even Xbox really with the release of Xbox Live, internet gaming became like a family friendly, or like a family, you know, like household type of like name, where they're like, oh, I'm gonna go play video games. And they're like, okay, you're gonna go play Pong? No, Mom, I'm gonna go play Splinter Cell fucking Chaos Theory with my friends, you know, and I'm gonna be a spy and they're gonna be a mercenary type stuff. Or like Halo. Like, so when 360 came out and it was a lot more prominent that online gaming had like propelled itself into everyday life, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people were more on the side of the 360 than they were on the PS3, than like as far as like online gaming went. At least just from my personal experience, like we all had 360s. Like I know for a fact. But like as far as like when I moved back to Pennsylvania, and this is like a personal story, I guess, like I see onesies and twosies of like PS3s, but they were more for like, I have a PS3 so I can play the games that I want to play for me, like single player. But Microsoft has always kind of been the multiplayer experience, or like, you know, obviously PC, of course, but like 360, people always gravitated towards that because they could play games with their friends, because everybody had it, because it was like essentially, like I said, a household name, right? So the PS3 was kept for like the exclusives, where it's like The Last of Us, or fucking, I mean, now that we're at PS4 and stuff, we're like on our way to, well, a million more PS4s, not PS5s. We're on our way to like like the single, like Sony kind of like has this air about them where Sony's always been known for its exclusives, of course, but like Sony's also been known for like more of a single player experience of like we make games to play for you to enjoy by yourself. Because what's that? Last of Us, Horizon, Death Stranding, like they're all like there's no I mean there's a multiplayer aspect of Death Stranding, I guess. Kojima said it's not a multiplayer game, it's a strand social game where like you're playing together online, not together, like inadvertently, as weird as that sounds, like you all help the same common goal. But it's not like you're in a COD lobby getting called the N-word and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like I feel like we're moving away from that, which is insane to me because maybe I'm just getting old and times are changing, but like that's how I've always known it, is that Sony's always been the people I want to go with when I want to buy a console to play a game that I will play for probably 30 to 40 hours by myself to enjoy the story. Microsoft, all day when it comes to like, yo, me and my boys are going to get together and squad up. Like that's kind of how it's been. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. And I think with what Xbox has been doing over the years, they're trying to become, I think, both. They got Halo, and then, I mean, Starfield's coming out in November. That's a huge fucking single player game just for them.
That's the wild thing about that. Well, that was back when ZeniMax obviously got picked up by Microsoft, which we covered, of course, on the podcast. But the fact that they're like, yeah, I guess you said it right. They're trying to do both, and they're doing it when it comes from a business standpoint adequately well, because they're securing these IPs that are namely known for single player experiences, like Bethesda. For one, Bethesda's only been known realistically for their single player RPGs. Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, all of the Elder Scrolls, Fallout, the entire Fallout series. Now Starfield.
Or even Doom, they own Doom.
Like Doom, of course. Like Doom goes back to like the fucking archaic age when like PC, like Windows 95 would like come with Doom. Like that was a thing, and now they own that, which means Microsoft owns that, which is like great, of course. Because I have like great for me, as like shitty as it says like or sounds, it's like because I own it. I own the ability to play these things, but like I guess that kind of leads into like the economic viewpoint, or like if we're gonna get like super political, which we're not really, but like a long time ago there was like laws passed when it came to like monopolies, as far as like the U.S. economic system works, where like you can't do that. It's illegal to own everything. So like Disney, first of all, I'm looking at you, but like Microsoft is becoming that monopolized gaming company where they're starting to pick up everything, like like those Infinity Gauntlet memes with Disney where they'd be like, I'll do it myself, and they have like Fox and like all that shit on the meme. But like, do you think, I guess, and I'm not that we're both collegiate level scholars when it comes to like the economics of the US, but like, do you think that like we're heading towards that, I guess, when it comes to like the gaming industry? Because from what it stands, PlayStation is literally backed into a corner. Or Sony, I guess.
Yeah. I think I mean it's definitely possible. Microsoft's got, I guess, all the money in the world based and they're not afraid to use it, as we have learned. But I think what their strategy is, honestly, I don't know if this will ever happen. I think personally this would be best case scenario for Sony, is I think Xbox wants to get Game Pass on PlayStation. So,
that was a meme, yeah. But like it's a thing,
But Phil Spencer has said that he wants Game Pass on Xbox or on PlayStation, and he wants it on Switch. He wants to get them on those platforms, and I mean, the way to do it, you buy everything, make it exclusive to Game Pass. They're gonna have no fucking choice. I think it worked out sort of deal if Sony got some sort of cut from, I don't know, however Game Pass works, like subscriptions and stuff. Maybe people that are specifically subscribing on PlayStation or something. I don't fucking know. That's not for me to figure out. But if they were to figure something out like that, I really think that would be the best thing for PlayStation, to keep their player base. Like, because I mean, this is a big thing. Like, it's like Overwatch, dude. Like, that's all my wife plays. Granted, Overwatch 2 will probably be on PlayStation. We don't know that yet, but I mean, we're assuming because like prior contracts and stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think Xbox is gonna go out and buy every single company on the planet.
No, yeah, I don't think it's going to get to that far by any means.
I don't know if it's gonna be. I am not an economics person at all. I don't know shit about shit. Like, I just know video. Like, this is way above. I'm not even getting paid for this, but
this is above my pay grade, bro.
Yeah, I'm just here to talk about video games. I don't know. I really don't have a good answer.
Not even talk about video games in the sense that like our paychecks are on the line. Like, just like we're just two dudes, two white dudes on the internet talking about video games. Like,
yeah, right. But I want to keep going through some of these points. Sure. Super important thing that Phil talked about is he plans to fix the work culture at Activision Blizzard.
Oh, good. So you're going to stop being fucking dirtbags, for one, if we're going to talk about that, which, you know, I'm already introducing it, so we are. Like, how, like, there was that entire scandal at Blizzard, and, you know, them being, like, what do they call it? Like, the sex hotel? I don't want to get into it, but, like, yeah, there's been some bad Blizzard publicity, of course.
There's some unbelievably disgusting shit from the higher-ups that came out last year from Activision Blizzard, and the whole company was on fire all year. And a lot of people are saying that is why they were bought, because they were kind of just fucking under fire. They've been under fire for months, and I think Bobby Kotick, who is the head guy, a real piece of shit guy, I think he wanted a way out and still to cash a check. Of
course.
And this is granting him that opportunity. Which brings me to my next thing. It is confirmed that Bobby Kotick, I believe it's confirmed, or reports are that he will not be there after they are acquired. So he will not be CEO anymore, and everyone will report to Phil Spencer. And Phil Spencer's that fucking guy.
One, good. But two, I've seen those two where, like, but they're like people arguing for Kotick, where they're like, well, he's gonna be there until the deal goes through, and sometimes the deals might take like a year, etc. I was like, there's $70 billion on the line, dude. That shit's gonna be instant. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're out, my guy. Like, I know you want to do that CEO bullshit where you hang on till last strand, you pull that Norman Osborn, like, well, you can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed. Like, that's not happening.
I think he wants out at this point, and he just wants the money.
He wants a payday, for sure.
Yeah. And but I believe that he is going to step down once they're bought. So that's good. I hope the work culture, gets better there.
I mean,
a lot of the employees there said that they're like very, on the fence about it. They're like, well, we'll see. Like, they're cautious about what's going on. They'll see what's going to happen with it. Another thing is, first of all, Call of Duty is on a fucking, yearly schedule and everything. I think this acquisition will be a good time to, free up that schedule and like make it every 2 years of Call of Duty, and maybe take some of the stress off these employees, because these people have been making the same shit every 3 years, like over and over and over. So if they could get, Warzone, and then like Warzone as an ongoing thing, and then Call of Duty every 2 years or 3, I doubt it would be 3, but something like that.
I know.
I think that helped the employees and the work culture a lot as well. I think that is a possibility, but I don't know because I mean, Call of Duty every year makes hella money, so you know that might not
Well,
not
so
happen.
like I feel like it's a good thing though, honestly, because that's kind of the same thing that like we've wanted from Battlefield, and they've delivered. Where like, well, okay, delivered is an operative term, but they've delivered in the sense that like we don't expect a Battlefield every year because that was kind of like us as Battlefield players, like our meme of like, oh, you're pushing out the same bullshit, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And then like when they have time, to work on it, which is also a sore subject when it comes to Battlefield, at least in this case for 2042, but you don't expect a Battlefield game every year because you want them to like finite tune it. You want them to make it a fucking game that we want to play. Honestly, like, excuse my fucking language as I say, fuckity fuck, but like you want it to be a game that you can see they've meticulously worked on. So I think realistically, that's a good point. When you put the boot up Activision's ass and you're like, look, dude, you're gonna make a Call of Duty. It's not gonna be. You don't have a timeline. As far as like, we don't need it out by November 3rd or whatever the fuck they used to do. We want the game out when it's done, preferably in 2 years. It'd be nice, but we want the game out when it's done within the 2-year realm. I think personally, we're gonna get a good Call of Duty. Then the next Call of Duty will be great, which is it's fucking perfect timing, honestly, for them to like do all this change of leadership shit, and then Modern Warfare 2 is the next Call of Duty. Like I'm so about that because Modern Warfare 1, like the remake, 2019's Modern Warfare was like is to this day like my favorite Call of Duty because it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a fucking story focused game where I could play the campaign and love it, and then also multiplayer. Sans Warzone, like we're not going to talk about that, but like having a multiplayer where like 2019, then I'd be, home alone, like when Paige wasn't around, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a 6-pack, I'm gonna crank out some search and destroy and just fucking do that all night. And like that was what I wanted. But then they were like, oi, they're killing each other in a dance, Bryce. Like I was like, I don't give a fuck about Warzone. Like I don't give a singular shit.
Oh, but a lot of people
that's
do,
fine.
though.
Like by all means, if that's fucking whatever you're fucking pick your poison, I guess, right? But I don't care. But them with this new change of leadership, I guess, pandering to both audiences, where like they're gonna keep Warzone live because I think you said about it in the group chat, but like it's a cash grab. Keep Warzone up, keep doing battle passes, like by all fucking means, all day, do it. If that's what makes you money, go for it. But also caring, right? Which is, I guess really hard in capitalistic business to give a shit about what the consumer thinks, but caring about the players and saying, hey, they want this Call of Duty, they want a story-focused thing, and then also like traditional Call of Duty experience with Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, blah, 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 gun game, whatever the fuck, having that as like a backup or like the game, and then Warzone gets patched in with the game where it's like, all right, Modern Warfare 2 came out, we're going to go back to this style of Warzone with these guns as opposed to like whatever, World War II or whatever the fuck they're on now with Vanguard, but doing both. It's not asking a lot from a huge company like that to keep all of that on their plate because they have the money if you take the CEOs out of the equation. And this is going to get really like communistic or proletariat. All we have left to lose are our chains, comrade, right? But keeping the CEOs out of the equation where like money's not a factor, because yes, money's cool to make, I guess from a poor person like myself standpoint, but these people, these devs, like these CEOs who are like, get that Call of Duty out now, right? Suck a dick. Stop caring about your money. Care about the players when it comes to the all-encompassing standpoint, right? Make Warzone. Continue to fucking develop it. Fix it, because there's still those, like, hacking issues, but whatever. That's going to be a thing always with Battle Royales. But also care about the casual multiplayer experience that people are working on or want to do. Like for me, like I said, like when Modern Warfare 2 came out, or Modern Warfare 1, the remake, came out, like that was like the one thing I was hyped for, was one, blasting through the campaign, because believe it or not, there's still a single player base out there, but also the multiplayer that's like cut and dry multiplayer, where it's like, hey, you know, like Halo. That's why Halo Infinite was my game of the year, because it did it right when it came to multiplayer. There wasn't those fucking bullshit battle pass. I mean, there was, but when it came to like battle royale style multiplayer, like we need to get away from that. Like battle royale is a great genre. I don't think every single game under the fucking sun needs a battle royale. So
No.
like doing what Infinite did and being like, look, bro, you guys missed 2007. We're bringing it back. Like that's it. And that like and like people fucking love it. Like everybody on the planet, like I don't give a shit who you are, loves Halo Infinite. And if you don't, you're a fucking liar, because they did the same thing. They took the same formula and they made it right. So do that with Call of Duty, but also having the upkeep, you know, because again it comes back to money, paying your devs to keep developing Warzone, because it's going to make you money, believe it or not. I am one of those people, if I was into Warzone, that would pay money for skins, because I'm a weirdo like that. So make money that way, use that money to develop Common Core practice multiplayer games that we've all missed, right? Nostalgia is the big thing. Everybody wants to go back, surprisingly, to like 2007 and 10, you know, like like that era of multiplayer gaming, because that's like our generation. We're kind of in charge when it comes to consumerism. So like we want to play the games that we grew up with. So if you add those to the current hardware we have, where it's fucking ray tracing and it's beautiful, you know, and you're like holy fuck, this is the great game. This is exactly what I wanted, but it looks great, you know, like that shit's gonna sell like fucking hotcakes. I promise you.
Well, and I think with it being under Phil Spencer, I think it's super possible that it'll be like that, and Call of Duties will actually become good.
Go back to what they
games.
were, yeah.
Because Phil Spencer, believe it or not, is super pro-consumer. I mean, he's still a suit at the end of the day. He's still trying to make
Phil
money.
Spencer's the suit that I would prefer to have on my side, as opposed to like EA, if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole. Like,
Dude, the guy at EA that always is on stage at E3, fuck that guy.
honest, I'll egg that dude's house, bro. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I've always loved Phil Spencer, man. Watching E3 when I was in like middle school and Phil Spencer would come on stage, I'd be like, yeah, I fucking love this guy. Like he wasn't even president at the time, or CEO, or whatever the fuck he is, head of Xbox at the time. He was just one of the guys that was higher up. And I was like, yeah, Spencer, he's cool. And then now he runs the whole show. But if I were to trust anyone with Call of Duty, it's
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer. So, yeah,
100%.
sure. I think they will keep the steady Warzone and then pump out Call of Duties. I don't know if it's going to be 2 years or so, because Phil said that he's excited to talk to all the devs in Activision and ask them, like, you know, what do you want to make?
So that's perfect, because you need that level of transparency when it comes from like a higher level marketing scheme. You know, not calling Microsoft a pyramid scheme, but like when you have like the CEO coming down, and like this is from like a dumb military standpoint, right? Or like as far as like perception goes, when you have the dude at the very, very top, right? Like personal story. When I worked at Fort Bliss, we had colonels come down to ask about things. And, like, everybody, you know, at some point would be like, oh, my God, panicking because, like, we have to make everything look great. But then I'm just, like, thinking, no, show them how it is, show them what we're doing, and then show them what we need, and tell them, look, sir, I need this to make our workplace better. Like, having that level of transparency between such higher echelons and lower echelons. I guess I'm not calling devs like fucking like whale shit, you know, but like, but you know, like there's a hierarchy when it comes to that, and having the dude at the tip top of the pyramid coming down and seeing what actually goes on at the lower levels when it comes to like, you know, game devs or testers or peons, like, what do you guys want to do? Like, what's up? Like that's perfect, because Phil Spencer is a great guy, but like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on unless he comes down and looks. And when he does, he'll see exactly, because these devs, I promise you, are the same people as you and me. Like they're devs, of course. They're working on the game, but they're fucking gamers. They play these games. They know what people want. They're like, You know, like, so, like, having that transparency where he comes down, he's like, what's up? I promise you that's going to be a better Activision Blizzard, anybody that Microsoft acquires from now on, even with Bethesda. Like, Elder Scrolls 6, when it finally comes out in 35 years, is going to be the best fucking Skyrim I've ever played. Because they're out there and being like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're working on this, and, like, fix the fucking bugs. And then, you know, Bethesda's going to be like, oh, fine, because, you know, like, they're under contract. Like, that's your boss, bro. Like, when they tell you to do it, you do it. Which, that's what they need. Like, they need that dude to come down and be like, fix this shit. And then them being like, damn, he's right. We got to fix this shit. But they're all on the same page because they've been like, yo, like, I'm going to use EA as an example, like DICE, which we've been shitting on, but being like, DICE being like, hey, this game's not finished. And EA's like, fuck you, release it anyway. Like, that's the worst thing for the industry when it comes to us as consumers. Like, maybe it's a good cash grab, of course, but, like, there's a reason EA has so many Better Business Bureau complaints against it because it's a bad business. And of course, me being me and you being you, we subscribe to that bullshit because we're like, maybe this time it'll be better. But, like,
because
I don't know.
Yeah, Phil talking to them and, you know, asking them what they want to make, I think is super important, and I think will result in some dope shit. And I think inevitably is going to take some developers off of Call of Duty because currently at Activision, like, everyone is just developing Call of Duty. Like Vicarious Visions, who made Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes, making Call of Duty now, just got absorbed into Call of Duty. Same with the people that made the Crash 4. So I think Phil going and talking to them can, you know, pull them away, be like, hey, you want to make more Tony Hawks? Fuck yeah, let's do it. You want to make more Crash Bandicoot? Let's do it. Also, I just want to mention, Phil pointed out that they now own Guitar Hero, which please bring
oh my
back.
God, I would spend maybe not thousands. I spend hundreds of dollars on a USB compatible Guitar Hero guitar. Actually, I think, did I tell you this story?
What?
So this actually goes back, like, to when we hadn't actually started recording the podcast. This is like 2018 or 2019, the very beginning of 2019. So my buddy Brian, who is in our Discord, is a super big Guitar Hero fan, etc. And, like, I think we talked about Clone Hero at one point, like the PC port of Guitar Hero, right? Did I tell you the story about how we went? Like, because this was actually, when did you get married? 19?
Oh, yeah, you did tell me.
The fucking road trip around Georgia to find Guitar Hero guitars that were USB compatible. Yeah, so, like, that's how dedicated Guitar Hero players are. Ford's in here, he's in the chat, holy shit.
Hey,
but no, like, the fact that we drove, like, hours around, like, I was hungover, and he knocked on my door, he was like, hey, man, we gotta meet this dude on Craigslist, and I'm like, like, all right, like, it was my car, like, I was driving, because I was the only one that brought my shit to school, so, like, we're driving, I think we went to, like, DeKalb, or, like, Decatur, I want to say, I don't remember, but it was, like, 2 hours from where we were, so we had, like, this, like, whole day road trip to get Guitar Hero guitars, and it was the greatest, like, I swear to God, it seemed like it was shitty at the time, but it was, like, the greatest experience ever, because it showed the dedication to Guitar Hero. Like he was like, hey man, like, he put the shit up, and he's like, let's play fucking Clone Hero, you know?
No, Guitar Hero is super beloved by so many people.
To this day, dude. Like,
the reason we don't have them anymore is because we kind of just got burnt out on that shit, because, of course, they pumped them out a lot. Same with Rock Band, you know, they were both basically the same shit, and they just kept going back and forth.
I miss Rock Band, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I miss having the stupid ass fucking USB drum. For
sure. Yeah, no. But I love that Phil was like, hey, we have Guitar Hero now. He said a couple other games. I apologize, I didn't write them down. They weren't that important as Guitar Hero, I think.
Us, yeah, like, he said Guitar Hero, he said, fuck, I can't remember. But I guess that's kind of a good thing to roll into.
Those super old.
Yeah.
They were old,
Yeah.
old games. But another thing Phil said is he's gonna try to get as many Activision, like, go back into their catalog, get as many as of their games
Which
as
is
they
perfect.
can on
Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm expecting all the Tony Hawk games, all Spyro, Crash, all that shit.
Which, all right. So if I was gonna say that's a good thing to.
Call of Duty, every Call of Duty is gonna come to Game Pass.
I mean, playing fucking Call of Duty World at War, baby. That's a good thing to roll into, though, is that the fact that, like, the dramatic fucking irony, right, of Microsoft owning a fucking PlayStation mascot, right? Crash fucking Bandicoot is now a Microsoft property. It's comparable to Fox, or not Fox, to Sony, you know, speak of the devil, owning Spider-Man from Marvel. It's such an insane thing, which means, I guess if we're going to talk about it, it's a good, you know, this is breaking news now that we're all talking about it. It's a good development is that, like, the same thing as how, like, Marvel did with Sony. Maybe they pay Sony money to use Spider-Man. Maybe Sony will pay money to Microsoft to make a Crash Bandicoot exclusive or some shit, or like try to, like, search out their old IPs, which, like, they like to be honest, like, that's fucking insane that that's a thing. Because I remember specifically and explicitly playing Crash Bandicoot 1 on PlayStation 1, of course, and then, like, when the remasters came out for the fucking Insane trilogy, playing it on PlayStation because me, nostalgically, in my brain, my little 2-watt fuse was like, I have to use a PlayStation controller because it doesn't feel right, you know? Like, it's so insane. And then Spyro, like, I introduced Spyro to my little sister, Savannah, who I think is in the chat. Maybe. Give me a shout out, bro. You there? Was me and my buddy RJ, which I don't know if you've talked to RJ. Big shout out RJ. Everybody getting shout out. Everybody in the chat's getting a fucking shout out, basically. But, like, RJ and I were, like, I dug out this PS1, not like the PlayStation one, but like the PS1, the little white ones, you remember? Out of my, like, grandma's attic or some shit, or my mom's attic. And, like, in this, it was like a fucking Tupperware case or some shit, like, you know, those little plastic clip-on case, like, lid shits. Inside that was, like, Spyro, Crash, like Crash 1 through 3, Resident Evil 2, and then Final Fantasy 7, which, you know, of course was like 79 discs. But, like, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Spyro. So me and RJ were trying to blast through Spyro 1, 2, I think 3, 2? What was 1? And then, like, I think 3 was Year of the Dragon. I can't remember. But, like, the third one, we were trying to blast through all the Spyro games, and Savannah came into my room and was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I was like, let me fucking tell you a story, kid. But, like, it's insane to think about that. Like, that's where we're at, is that, like, I might be able to play Spyro and Crash on my fucking PC in the coming, like, months. Well, that's what I mean.
You
like,
will.
It's insane to, like, to comprehend, honestly, because it goes to, like, that exclusivity bullshit that came with, like, Metal Gear. Is that, like, I had to literally buy a PlayStation 3, and it's sitting here, like, right. Let me grab it on the stream real quick. Hang on. There's a PlayStation 3 right here. Here we go. Yep, I got her. She's hooked up. There we go. Bam. Right here. So I could play Metal Gear Solid 4. And you remember that because we talked about it on the podcast about how I had to go through this whole fucking thing to buy this thing. But, like, and then, like, that's it. You can't play Metal Gear 4 anywhere else besides PlayStation Now. And let's be fucking honest, nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's really insane. And this is just the Activision side of it. We're not even talking about Blizzard. These motherfuckers own World of Warcraft
like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's a moneymaker in itself, dude.
What? Diablo, Overwatch. I'm going to keep saying Overwatch because that's insane. Like, it's crazy, man.
I don't know, dude. We've been... Could you just imagine, like, World of Warcraft? Because I remember when I used to play WoW. And I tried to get you into WoW, I think, in, like, 2009, I want to say. It's not your thing, which I get. Like, you know, I'm, like, the RPG guy, and you're, like, the whole, like, shooters are cool, or whatever. Or, like, this is a fun sports game, like Skater XL. But like I remember trying to get you into WoW and like playing WoW when it was like free to play up to like level 30 or whatever it was back in the day. Or it might still be now, but like that in itself is a fucking conglomerate industry because it's a subscription based MMO. People pay $15 a month, unless it's changed, which it might have for the worse, to play this game at the levels they're at. Right, they subscribe to play WoW, which is $15 a month from every player who plays it, which it's still one of the most popular games in all of existence. You know, it's not going to go away.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, like, the fact that they're making $15 a month from a person, or per person, for, like, the, I don't know, millions of players that are playing this game is just already off the rip insane. But, to say, because I haven't played WoW in a long time, because of the fact that, like, content kind of, like, drastically dropped off because Blizzard's a fucking bunch of idiots, with Phil Spencer there to put some, like, to light a fire under Blizzard's ass, of course, which he should. It feels like it's a good place to, or like good time really after the merger happens or whatever it is, to get back into WoW, because that kind of essentially solidifies that good WoW updates or good WoW expansions are going to happen again, because they're actually putting effort in and they're not just like cranking out stupid shit for money because they don't fucking need it. You know? Yeah.
They take their time. I think that's the case for like all of these games. I think this deal is gonna help all of these games. I mean, people are not happy with how Overwatch 2 is looking, and I think that stuff will turn around.
Yeah,
on the Xbox.
Everybody was not, and they were like, "This is just fucking Overwatch 1 with more skins, you pieces of shit."
I think Overwatch 2 is complete.
Yeah.
Whatever. What time are we at right now?
Actually, so we're at like an hour 15 when it comes to the thing. Yeah,
no
dude.
Way.
We have been.
What?
Well, actually, hang on. 40, 20.
Are you
less than an hour? I'm my bad. A little bit under an hour. I don't know how to do math. I'm dumb.
Okay, well, I want to end the news story with this. So, Phil, later in the week, I think, actually yesterday, he tweeted out, had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. So a lot of people were like, you know, everyone was freaking out. Oh my God, Call of Duty is going to be Xbox exclusive. Phil tweeted this out and everyone was like, oh, we're good.
Okay.
Like, it's going to be on PlayStation. It can read like that. But the fact that he says our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, it's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so one, let me tell you here, I definitely don't know how to do math. So we're at like 56 minutes. So we have some time. We're good. We're gonna bullshit. But yes, so to translate that Phil Spencer tweet, because that's where we're at in pop culture archaeology, kind of like treat it like the Rosetta Stone. So him saying like their desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation is actually a good PR move, because that means he's like, hey, look, we bought this shit, but that doesn't mean we're trying to take it from you, somebody who might not be on board, which is great. Yeah. But also, I feel like Phil Spencer, with what we've seen from him, he's not that type of person to steal content from players who don't have access to it, or to what's it called, gatekeep content from players who may not have access to it. But from a business standpoint, speaking primarily of Bethesda, because I think we talked about it earlier, not earlier in the cast, but like on an earlier cast, they were like, yeah, Starfield's gonna be for everybody, and then like, what was it, like 4 months later, they were like, just fucking kidding, assholes, fuck off. Which is wild. Well, I mean, not for me. I am not feeling any personal fallout from this, which is also wild to say. Probably still going to try to buy a PS5 because Demon Souls looks sick. I am a glutton for punishment, but like I don't know. It like that seems to me and I don't want to say it this way because I love Phil Spencer and I love the way he's doing his thing. And just him as a human, like I'd like to hang out with him and have a beer. But what I mean by that is that, like, saying that, like, hey, we want to keep Sony around, basically is saying, like, we'll let you live in, like, a gladiatorial combat because we value our relationship and it's great, you know, is like kind of detracting from the fact that Microsoft inevitably might skirt the line of monopoly. Because, like, saying, like, hey, it's great for competition, we keep them around, we value our relationship. Sure, sounds good. But when you come, like, at it from a money standpoint or a business standpoint, like, you're essentially blowing them out of the water. I don't have data to back this statement up, essentially, right now. But I'm sure if I looked it up, I could. They're blowing them out of the water when it comes to, like, sales and stuff because of, obviously, Microsoft being the conglomerate that it is. Everybody plays on Windows, unless you're a fucking psychopath and you play on, like, Mac or, like, Linux or whatever. But I don't know. It's good. It's like a good distraction, but at the same time, like, I feel like it might be genuine for him to be like, hey, we're doing this. I guess almost to kind of, like, kick Sony in the ass and be like, hey, man, get your shit together. You know, like, we're here.
Yeah. So I think it is him being genuine. Like, I think he does mean it. Like, when he says we want to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, because of course they do, because that's a shitload of money for them. But I think he has that desire, but he wants PlayStation to cooperate with him.
Which we know from the past never happens, honestly. Like, Sony's so against other companies. And, like, they might not essentially themselves be, but just the way that, like, everything works out, I feel like Sony is, like, the last person on board with any type of, like, merger / like, hey, you know, like, let's make this available on this or whatever when it comes to their IPs or their fucking, or their crossplay. Like, they had to break Sony's fucking arm twisting it to get people to play crossplay when it came to, like, I think Rocket League was the first. Or, like,
Rocket Fortnite were the first ones to, like, break the seal of that.
Because with the technology that we have today, because all it really is when you boil it down is just the internet. Like, they're just servers. It's not like this is a Sony fucking firewall server and, like, how dare you try to access this, you Microsoft piece of shit. You know, like, that's not how it works. It's the internet. It's just IP addresses and shit communicating with each other. So, like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Now, when it comes to hardware, like, for the sake of, like, Battlefield 2042, like, I kind of understand, because some servers might be more demanding for lower end consoles and stuff like that, which, whatever. But, like, as far as the ability to do it, it's totally there. It just takes, like, talking and being like, okay, we'll do that. But then they're like, no, we don't want to do that. Which, like, why? Like, I get the business side of that, but, like, dude, we're all, like, in our generation, we're all advocating for, like, I don't know, like, gamer, not supremacy, but, like, I guess gamer peace, as wild as that is. Like, we don't give a fuck about the console wars anymore. Yeah, inclusivity. Like, I want to play with my friends, but, like, if you want a PS5 and I'm rocking a PC, like, I want to play with you, because these are just our our personal life choices, you know? So, like...
Oh, yeah, like, I don't give a shit what you play. I have an Xbox and I don't care what people play on. I think we should all be able to play together on anything. But it's not as simple when there's money involved.
Which is wild.
Rich people. And I think the one to really lead the charge in making that, like, gamer piece or whatever is Phil Spencer, but the caveat is it's got to go through Game Pass. I think his desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation is to put Game Pass on PlayStation.
Like, I again, back to the Monopoly thing, I feel like, hey, man, you're kind of skirting the gray line there, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, is you know, I am the Pope of the first church of fucking Hideo Kojima, but I feel like they need, dude, because Sony's streaming service, like PS Now, is fucking hot dog shit, man. Like, it's so bad.
Sure.
To the point where, like, even from, like, one singular game, right? Like, I wanted, when I was in school, to play Metal Gear Solid 4. Because I hadn't played it in so long, and it was, like, a nostalgia thing for me, and also, like, it meant a lot because it's one of the games that I hold near and dear, like the entire Metal Gear saga. I was like, I want to play that shit. So I went out. I bought a PlayStation 3 from somebody and took it apart and talked about it on the podcast and cleaned it and everything and, like, actually put labor and love into this console, and then found a retro store to find a physical copy, only to be let down when it didn't work, to hope that the PS3 store was still live and buy this content digitally. So I bought the game twice, essentially, just to play it because I missed it. So having the ability to stream it effectively, whether it's Game Pass, PS Now, or whatever, but, you know, Game Pass is the one we're going to talk about, would be so fucking groundbreaking on a Sony console that, like, I'm still to this day a Sony fanboy when it comes to single players and their IPs, but as far as the way they're running shit, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, Microsoft is looking solid, and, like, I'm gonna keep Sony stuff around, like PlayStations and shit, to play their exclusives or, like, their Japan content, like I did earlier on the stream when I was playing Persona 5. But, like, Persona 5 Strikers is on PC. They could port Persona 5 to PC. Really, at this point, what do I need a PlayStation for? As bad as that sounds, you know, for me, coming from me, of all people who have owned only, like, Sony consoles until the 360 boom, you know, like, what do I get out of it, you know?
Right now, the only value of having a PlayStation is their day one exclusives. That's really all you have right now. Like, you get Horizon day one, you're getting God of War day one, you know, The Last of Us, all these things, you'll get it the day it releases. PC gets it like a year later.
I'm so backed up on my Steam library that, like, a year sounds like a break, you know, like.
That's fine. If you're cool with that, like, more power to you. But, like, that's all PlayStation has right now in their court, like, exclusives. They got to make some moves. They got to do something, because Xbox is out here, like,
dude,
big dick swinging. Like,
they're fucking the biggest and baddest motherfucker in gaming prison right now. like
it's
fucking
crazy,
the
man.
Biggest of all dick energy. Like,
I still can't believe, like,
I'm so to a point where I'm still in shock. Where I'm like, that's not real. But then I'll see, like, even our short that we put up on YouTube, or, well, you put up, but, like, I guess we did, of, like, we're like, yeah, news doesn't matter, whatever. And then, like, this happens, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, this means so much. It can't be put into words, really, of, like, how much this is going to affect and ripple the entire community when it comes to, like, just the consumerism aspect of it.
It's huge, man. It's, like, Call of Duty is the biggest
whether or not
game
it's
on
good,
Earth.
But yes, like, as far as, like, the actual IP Call of Duty, whether it's fucking Call of Duty 1 from, like, 2006 all the way up to now, and so, like, that's one of the biggest franchises, let alone Halo, like, that happens.
You know what the top two selling games
Beautiful
were
Katamari
of last year?
Reroll.
Both slots was Katamari. No, it was fucking Call of Duty Vanguard, and then what is the fucking other one? The year before.
Black Ops. No, Cold War.
Yeah, no, Cold War. It's a Black Ops game.
Cold War.
Whatever that one was.
Yeah.
Cold War, yeah. So it was literally, one was Vanguard, and then Cold War was second. That was the top two selling games of the entire year. Yeah, it's crazy. And then, like, on top of that, they still have Warzone that people are playing. Nothing is bigger than Call of Duty. That is the biggest game on the planet.
I remember a time when Halo was the biggest game.
I feel like the only thing come close is like kind of sleeper shit, like World of Warcraft type shit,
well,
like
sleeper shit when it comes to non-console war, but like PC sleeper shit, where like it blows up overnight.
I mean, like not, like kids get consoles just for Call of Duty, like, and like 2K, like
fuck you, EA.
Like, that's shit.
Suck my ass.
2K's not EA.
Oh, you're right. I don't know. I attribute sport games directly to EA.
No, I absolutely. 2K is.
That's right.
2K is
Take-Two, which is the old fucking. What the fuck were they called? It's 2K. 2K Sports. They like rolled over because they used to make the NCAA titles. I think. I might be actually 2K, legitimately wrong about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna be out here saying shit.
We're the worst fucking journalists in the history of fucking podcasting.
I just play video games. Fuck. I knew we were
literally
talk about
the entire podcast, because right now we're at what, 40? We're literally at like a good hour and 5 minutes. I love it. That's so good. I love it. I'm glad. There's so much more we could talk about too. Like.
Yeah, no, I could keep going like easily. That's how big this fucking news story is. Like, it's crazy.
I don't think we're gonna get away from it too in the next like couple years. It's like,
no, this is gonna be an ongoing, be developing, and who knows? This might start a shitstorm of buying publishers. Someone might buy.
I hope it's Sony, dude.
I hope so. I hope someone does, because someone needs to take the reins of that
dumpster
fucking
fire
shit show.
Company.
Someone fix Battlefield, damn
I've been waiting years for this shit.
Yeah. You know, it'd be crazy about Take-Two. I don't think anyone would.
Solid if they did.
But then Rockstar, so.
I don't want to talk about Rockstar.
That would be insane.
Because.
Why?
That's it. I'm just kidding. They've done actually pretty solid work, to be fair. I mean, sometimes with their.
Well, no, the GTA trilogy.
That's what I don't want to talk about, because that's fresh. That's a fresh wound. But like, as far as like GTA 5 online or GTA Online and like Red Dead Online, like, I mean, all right, man, you guys, yeah, keep doing it, or make your single player games like GTA 5 or Red Dead 2, like solid fucking titles, dude.
They're just printing money. They don't make another game for a long time.
Like when I got Red Dead 2 online for a PC not too long ago, because it was on sale for like $6 or some wild shit. I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll start that as shit again. I don't care. I was like, damn, I kind of want to buy gold so I can do cool guy shit. You know, like.
Oh man.
I don't know. Like, I have a couple things I could talk about. And you do when it comes to like what you've been playing, because I haven't actually been playing a lot because I've been super busy with school. So like, we can round it out with what we've been playing, but I know that the Microsoft merger is gonna be like super fresh regardless, because like there's some games that we're gonna be like, and by the way, this happened.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see what comes to Game Pass. If they put all the Tony Hawk games on there, I'm gonna have to replay every single one of them. I have no choice.
I physically cannot resist, you know.
I can't wait to see what comes on there. Yeah, let's just hop into what we've been playing. I haven't been playing a lot either, because it snowed on Monday, so like work was like double time all week to make up for that day. That sucked.
Well, so if you want to like roll over what you've been playing, I have to pee, which I'm not gonna edit this out. Fuck you. I have to pee real quick, so if you want to do that, I'll leave you up and I'll go pee real quick.
Can you take us with?
I am, actually. Not on camera, but you know. It's on a tripod. What do you mean?
Come on, you gotta get risky on Twitch.
Do them hot tub streams.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about what I've been playing. So I picked up Death's Door, which some people might have heard of. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about it. Like a lot of people have said very good things. It has very good reviews. It's a Devolver Digital game, and it's developed by a team called Acid Nerve, who makes Titan Souls, which I don't know anything about that game, but I've heard a lot about it. Basically, Death's Door is a 3D isometric action adventure game. You're like this like little, kind of like cute little crow, and you're running around with a sword, and you're reaping souls. Basically, you're killing shit pretty much. It's really fun. The style of it, like graphically and everything, looks really good. The soundtrack is amazing, like really good. I really like the soundtrack. But the boss fights can get pretty damn punishing. Like it's relentless and kind of soulsy. People call it like an easy Dark Souls, basically. Because I'm not gonna play that super hard punishing shit like you do. But yeah, it can get a bit dicey in the boss fights. The first boss took me like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 tries to beat, which I don't know if that's a lot compared to like Dark Souls, but it was a lot to me. I was
I'm back,
pretty
and yeah, it
frustrated.
is. So like as far as like Dark Souls 1 and like the prison demon or whatever, like the first boss, where like you're like, oh cool, I'm playing Dark Souls, and it's like, check it out, fuck face, you have a boss. You're like, I don't know how to play the game. That's fair.
You mean the first boss that I had never beat, and that's as far
it's
as
called
I
the
got in Dark
Asylum
Souls?
Demon, I think. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like,
that.
so the whole point of it is like it's like a feat to beat it, but like you don't have to beat it, like because you die, and it's like, hey, here's how you get your humanity back. It's kind of like a learning point in the game, but I feel you. I tried to make it
like,
a point to be like, fuck you, and goddamn, I like start like delete the save file. I'm like, nah, I'm beating this fucking boss. I swear to God.
Yeah, I think I really want you to try this game out, because I know
fucking
you like
will
isometric
suck
shit.
off isometric games, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's on Game Pass, so you have
Yeah.
nothing to lose, literally.
Besides $15 a month,
and
when I'm already there, so
by like action adventure, it's kind of like a Zelda game. Like it doesn't necessarily point you in a direction to go. You just kind of figure your shit out, and you kind of discover shit.
I buy that. I'll buy that for $1 or $15.99 a month.
And the writing is pretty funny too in some parts. I met this one character. He has I guess there was like a magic spell that was casted on him, and he has a pot as a head, and his name is Pothead.
That kind of reminds me of well, one, Cuphead, but like a lot of like indie games have like really good writing when it comes to like just not dark humor, but like the dumb offshoot stupid shit where you're like, you know, you're just like like you laugh at it, like that's because I talked about it last cast, the like wild indie game I was playing, Death Trash. Like the writing is like same as that, like immaculate, where it's like it comes to like stupid ass jokes, and you're like, that was dumb as fuck, but all right, and that's pretty funny. Like,
yeah, some of the characters, like with the writing, they're like pretty blunt, and like they're like, there's one character in the beginning. So basically, in the beginning, you go try to reap this soul, and the soul escapes,
like,
and then you go back to the real world, and then like there's like little crows on typewriters that are like the office workers basically, and you're going out and getting the souls and stuff.
Have you seen Umbrella fucking Academy?
I've seen some. Crystal,
of course, Gerard Way wrote the comic, so I can't imagine why Crystal would love it. Yeah, like there's a scene in what they call the agency in Umbrella Academy, like the first and second season, where it's like straight up just like it's a different plane of existence, but there's just a bunch of like random like faceless peons just typing on typewriters to type like how the timeline's supposed to go and shit. Yeah,
I guess kind of like that. Yeah, they're just sitting there just going off on typewriters, but like you go back and you talk to one, and they're like, oh, you lost your soul. Oh, that sucks. You better go.
Is your refrigerator running? You better fucking catch it. Like,
yeah. So I think the whole game is about tracking down that soul. Okay. So you can reap it. The boss fights are really cool. like the bosses themselves are cool. One of the second boss that I fought was a house, literally
so it's
just
got
a
Cuphead
house.
vibes where like you're fucking shooting at a carrot type shit.
Yeah, it's interesting. The first one's like a demonic, like octopus lady. It's crazy.
Sounds like
you
my
should play
mother.
it though. I think you'd.
No, that's fucked up.
Jesus.
Mom, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but I'm sorry. Okay, so like, what's the art style like? Because like either way, I'm kind of down with isometrics, but like when it comes to like stupid ass 8-bit isometrics, like that's my fucking.
It's not 8-bit. It's more kind of like
Okay, so like the cell shaded.
Look it up. I guess so. Is it?
Okay.
I don't look it up. Look up some.
But yeah, no, I feel like when it's not like Journey, so like where it's like cartoony but cell shaded. I gotcha.
Yeah, kind of. I'm trying to think of other games that kind of look like it. I want to say Monument Valley, but I don't know.
Death's Door, video game. 2021 action adventure video game developed by Acid Nerve. Imagine that. Blah, blah, blah. It's almost like you talked about it. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like cel-shaded slash cartoony, but not entirely animated.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it looks like a video game, as weird as that sounds to say. I got you. Okay, I'm down with that, because that's kind of like the same art style as Psychonauts without the cell shading.
Yeah, and you like upgrade your shit and stuff like that, find better weapons, all the sort of thing. It's a Devolver Digital game, so
Digital's
I
fucking
mean, it's
smacking
got to
it around, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Devolver Digital,
They do
I
not.
feel like they don't miss, dude.
What did they come out with really recently? Oh my god.
I don't know, but
that's
Enter the
one.
Gungeon
Yeah,
is
okay. So
sick.
there's that. Their most recent, well, one they do the Serious Sam's because there's that. There's a PC
Incredible.
game. I forgot about it. That was the one I was actually thinking of. It was so stupid. They have a fucking multiplayer game that's like Mario Party called Genital Jousting, and you play as a penis.
Yeah.
And you just fucking slap around shit like.
Pretty
It's
sure
so
I saw Couch
stupid.
play that
I
back
love
in-
it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really all I've been playing though. Played a little bit of Unity as well. A little bit. Other than that, that's really...
Well, that's wild. Because I also have not really been playing a lot, but I told you is because of school. But what I have been playing, I pulled up. So, for one, do you know what FTL is? Have you heard of FTL? Faster Than Light.
I don't know.
It's kind of like Oregon Trail, but in space. As weird as that sounds. So it's all procedurally generated. And the main story behind it, I've been playing a lot of it because it's like quick. Like I'll get done with like part of my like final for this class, and I'll just play like a round of FTL. And the game is like so fucking astonishingly punishing, even on like the easy difficulty. You're like, why the fuck am I playing this? It's like the Demon Souls of fucking 8-bit graphic RPGs, I guess. But the story is, rebels are attacking like the Federation. You play as the Federation. The rebels are attacking. They're like chasing down. They're like, we're gonna go blow up the Federation base. And you're like, fuck. So you have to travel across 8 specific, like, not specific, but like 8 procedurally generated, like, I guess, galaxies, so to speak. And in each galaxy, there's like little points of interest you can go to. And the fleet's chasing you, so you're on like a time crunch. But the whole thing is like, try to level up your ship as quick as you can, and as fast as you can, and as efficiently as you can, so that at the end of the jumps, you get to the point where you get to the base, and then you like try to take down the rebel flagship, which is like the fucking hardest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it's punishing, but it's like it rewards like, I guess, creative thinking when it comes to like how things could play. And there's like all these random scenarios. But I've been playing that because one, it's like a 10 megabyte game. Like it doesn't take a lot at all. You can probably play it on your phone if they made it for your phone. Or if it was on Game Pass, you could.
Probably.
But I've been playing a lot of that because one of the YouTubers I watch, Ambiguous Amphibian, big shout out if you're listening, English Papa, plays it and like was doing like VOD runs, because that's what I'll do at work. I'll put on like a VOD of him because it's like 3 or 4 hours long of like his Twitch streams, and just listen and like, well, because I know what's happening. But like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play that again, and I did it, and I was like, damn, I forgot why I stopped playing this game, or I remember why I stopped playing this game, because I can't win. But that's kind of like the fun part of it. Same with like Zomboid, is like the whole point is for you to just die and like maybe you'll get farther next time, But that's pretty cool because they updated a whole bunch since it came out. So it's like all kinds of like new alien races and different ships you can try out to like make it to the end and stuff. But
that sounds.
It's fun. Yeah, it's super good.
I like the gameplay loop of
Well,
Oregon Trail.
That's honestly what it is. It's like
game.
it's straight up like, oh, you didn't make it. That's crazy. New game. Like in the like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You rip it off like a band. And you're like, okay, try again. So I also got this game, and I forget who developed it. Let me find out. Well, so do you know? Okay, Datalic. Do you know, or do you remember, or am I going to date myself? Do you remember the old Commandos games from back in the day? Yeah, so you probably not. It was an old like Windows 95 game, but it was essentially like Age of Mythology, like RTS isometric, where you control like 5 characters. You play as like special ops commandos, and you're like, oi, lads, we're jumping into Germany or whatever the fuck, and you control these 5 special SAS commandos from World War II, and like make sure that each one had special abilities or like certain skills they could use, and you would like pause the game and like queue up actions and be like, okay, and just kind of like see how you could make it through this map efficiently, right? Kind of like Door Kickers. Have you played Door Kickers, or you know what Door Kickers is? Okay, yeah. So it's like that, but it's isometric. But I've been playing Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, which is that, but it's set during the Edo period of Japan's history when like the samurai revolted. And you're playing as like the samurai, or like there's like you play as like 6 special like Japanese assassins. And the whole thing is like a story-based thing, like Age of Mythology. It's like, all right, we're going to this place now, and like you'll have objectives to complete, and each character has their own individual tactics. Like one is a shinobi, so he's like a ninja. The other one's a samurai, so he just like walks in and smacks shit around. One's like a child who like has like a bird flute and like puts down traps. So like she'll like hide in a bush and like call people towards our traps. The last one's like a fucking an old man that's like the best marksman in all of like ancient Japan. So he's got like the flintlock rifle, and he'll like hide out on fucking cliffs. But it's super cool, and it's also it's like kind of like FTL, where it's so fucking punishing. Where like I wasn't playing it on a stream, but I was playing it last night. I was streaming it for my Discord because we were all bullshitting. And the whole time they were like, "What are you playing, Donnie?" So they'd like tune in, and I'm like, "God fucking damn it!" Like reloading fucking saves and shit. Like it's so infuriating, but I love that because I'm like, it forces me to be like, okay, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Okay, cool. But the shitty thing about this game, not shitty, but more of like I guess a gameplay mechanic, is that in the Commandos games you could like pause the action and queue up actions. And this one, like the shadow mode, like the pause, doesn't pause the game. So you have to have all your characters like hidden or like, not in danger to like start queuing up actions and thinking what you're going to do before you hit enter and actually execute the actions all at the same time. So like it really does force like critical thinking and planning, but like to the tone of like the Edo era in Japan, when like Japan was at war with itself. So it's really cool because I'm a history major, so like the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, I remember learning about that. I remember learning about the Shinobi Revolt. Okay, cool. I remember the samurai finding out what rifles were. Like that's fun. So I don't know. That's really it. Like I haven't played a whole lot of games this week though, surprisingly.
That one also sounds pretty fun.
It's definitely a time waster because the campaign is, I don't want to say long, but like it's existent, if that makes sense. But also like there's different like badges you can earn for each mission or whatever. So it'll be like, oh, as the ninja or as the shinobi, kill 2 players with a falling rock, or kill 2 NPCs with a falling rock, or also don't be spotted this round or whatever. So like it's got replayability. So I really like it. Like I only played it for 2.5 hours according to Steam, which was enough for me to be like, I like this game. It's fun, and the story is pretty cool too.
That's dope, dude. Hell yeah. I downloaded Rainbow Six Extraction.
How's that going?
So I don't know. I played like 2 seconds of it, and then I wanted to play Death's Door, so I stopped playing.
I want to play an isometric like Donavin. All right.
Yeah. I just had that itch to go back into that game. So, but I'm gonna probably try it to maybe tomorrow, Sunday,
you sent it in the
something
group
like
chat, and then I started looking it up about Extraction. I was like, so it's got really good reviews because I guess it's refreshing to the Siege community. So like,
it's a lot of the Siege like diehards though aren't
imagine
happy
that.
with it. I don't know. They used a lot of stuff that they've already put into Siege. I don't know. I haven't been playing Siege.
Dude, I haven't played Siege
for like 4
in like 6 months, maybe more. Like,
and way more than that. Like, I was into Siege for the first like 2 years it came out, and then I've completely fallen off. So it's like all of it's brand new to me. So I don't really know what the complaints are. But like people like Kind of Funny. I've been watching Kind of Funny play it, and a lot of them don't have any ties to Siege, and they really love it. So it's like, if you've been on Siege, you might not like it as much.
It's one of those things where you can't. It's a Siege game, like in the sense where it's got operators and like it's a Tom Clancy game, but you can't walk into it expecting like secure the hostage. You know, like you can't walk into it expecting a Siege game. It's got the Siege skin, but it's a whole different game. So like, I guess the diehards are doing that, and they're like, this game's fucking stupid. Like, yeah, of course it's stupid to you because you walked in it with like these high expectations of what you thought it was going to be. But if you take it at face value and actually play the game for like what it's worth, I feel like a lot of people would like it where they're like, oh, I'm done with playing fucking hostage and bomb. I want to go play fucking kill the alien, you know, like.
I want to really give it a try though, because people say that the single player is like skip.
Yeah. Kind of gives you, I saw a couple things like people comparing it to GTFO, which like I love GTFO. It's fucking terrifying, especially when you're playing as multiplayer. I'm like, yo, stop fucking moving, bro. They're gonna see us. So like, I like that. Which I think it's kind of like why I like Zomboid so much, because it does rely on you to, I guess, have common sense in a situation that wouldn't exist in human history, where like be like, oh, yo, zombies can hear us, so let's just not make noise. So like, I don't know, I like that shit where like it forced you to be like, oh, I've never encountered that in a game, let me try this instead, you know, like that's good shit.
Yeah, so are you gonna try
I probably will. It's on Game Pass though, right? So like I probably will, absolutely.
Yeah, it's cross-platform.
Oh, so we can actually play video games instead of just hosting a podcast on the internet together.
Instead of talking to each other once a week.
Which is, I guess, saying a lot, considering how like there was a whole period of our lives where we didn't like really. I'm not saying we didn't talk, but like like, yo, what's up, dude? Like,
wasn't this much communication. That's. But yeah. I don't know. I'm out. I'm out of.
I mean, we're at that point, honestly, where we're coming up on the old podcast, where it'd be like an hour and a half. So like, we're cranking it out.
This Skype call has been an hour and 30.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We're about probably, as far as recording goes, like an hour and 26 minutes as far as the podcast. Which I'm gonna keep all this in because I love raw data. Plus, it makes editing so much more easier. So.
No. I don't even. There's rarely stuff that I'm like, hey, go back to this timestamp and edit this out.
Usually stemmed from us having like bad audio quality and be like, oh yeah, there was a point where like you dropped out for 7 minutes, and you know, like. But with this, like, we're solid. But I think that's that was a good cast.
Yeah, that was great. I'm sure we'll be talking more about the acquisition for months
years.
And years. I think it'll ever
until
end.
It closes. You know.
Can't wait to see how someone retaliates. That's where I'll.
True. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, Um, I don't remember what I was gonna say. That's it.
I'm gonna throw this in there, and I'm gonna keep it for the cast. But I'm looking at my OBS, and I forgot to switch the Twitch stream category. So it has been for the past hour and 45 minutes saying that I've been playing Persona 5. It's solid,
Sick.
dude.
I thought you were gonna say something.
I forgot to record,
like,
bro.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Not again. No, that's a good place to call it. But bam.
Yep.
This has been another episode of Super Pixels Weekly. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm Donovan.
And I'm William. Go subscribe to our YouTube. We're really pushing that right now. This whole VOD is going to be up there, so you'll be able to watch us on there. If you're listening to audio, well, you've already finished the episode.
If you're here already, you probably don't want the VOD. But like, if you want to just, go click on it, that'd be pretty cool.
Did we say in the beginning that there's going to be a
No,
VOD with both of us in it?
Surprise!
Maybe you should plug that in editing.
The doc and edit that at the beginning. Do a little voice channel. Hey, it's Donovan again.
Hey, you can go watch this on YouTube now. That's not what you sound like.
Sure.
Our Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, no, I'm sure. Twitch and YouTube links, everything
in the
are in the description. Go check us out in our content. Email us questions, comments. How do you feel about this acquisition? Do you think Call of Duty is going to be fucking only on Xbox? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Sony is going to buy EA?
Hope so.
I don't know.
Tell me what. So our personal links are in the description. In this episode, which if you're at this point on the audio recording, in the description, I'm going to try my best to try to link the actual SPW YouTube so you can get to the shorts and all the actual VODs and all that. It'll be there, but again, you're at the end of the episode, so if you're here already, you probably know this. But yeah, anyway, Instant Gaming link is in the description for sweet deals when it comes to new releases, as well as CD keys and all that stuff, which I say that all the time, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to date myself. But basically, if you have a Steam library on PC, and down in the left corner, there's a whole, redeem Steam icon or redeem Steam game. That's where they help out. So you can get some sweet deals on those games. But also, if you want to throw money at us ever, for whatever reason, what you should actually do is in the description there's going to be a link for the Extra Life team / Children's Healthcare Network, which tells you about Extra Life. But what it is a charity, we help out with it. We got a stream team. Donate money to that instead. We don't hope to make money off this. We do it because we like it. We actually like meeting up as older friends and talking. But really, if we do make money from this, it all goes to charity. So, who's the real winner here, right? The kids who need it. So, donate money to them. Yeah. Kids can't wait. Yeah, man, this has been I think it's been a solid episode. I am going to deviate to the Twitch chat real quick. So, one of the dudes been hanging out. Like I said, when I mentioned the Persona 5 thing where I forgot to switch it over, I said it, and he was like, well, hey, I went to look for a Persona 5 stream, and I stuck around for the podcast, so, that's how I met you guys. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
It'll all be in the description, man. Yeah, I'm glad you stuck around, honestly, dude. Because, one of the things he said in the chat was like, oh, this is great, dude. This is fucking exciting. This is not what I expected.
Well, well, I hope we made a good enough impression for them to stick around. So that's I love that. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a good place to wrap it. I hope we had a good time. Bam.